How to use our bandsaw. We're going to make one simple little cut. We've got a few things we want to check and set up on this machine. We're going to check our roller guides and such. We're going to try to do a little moving around and zooming in to see. I've got to open the cover so that I can get to the blade cover here, all in safety yellow. Little release screw here on the side opens my cover up. And you can see when you look down in here, I've got a series of guide wheels. There's one here on the left, there's one here on the right, and there's actually another one back here behind the blade that keeps the blade from going too far backwards. All of that still appears to be lined up. You want just a little bit of daylight between the guide wheels and the blade. Close it down, tighten my screw a little bit, just snug it. Notice my wheel locks and holds that in place. We'll make sure my roller guides are free. Loosen a quarter turn. I can crank up my guide up and down. All right, let me set my fence and my guide up. We're going to be making a 1-inch cut, so my roller guides are going to have to actually be up and out of the way. When you look here at the fence, there's the one right there. So I'm going to bring my guide over till it hits the one. I'm going to lock it down. Make sure my rollers are clear of my fence. Now I'm fixing to plug in the power. And then I'm also going to start the vacuum that's on the wall. The top buttons has FWD for forward. That's the top green button. And it's a slow start motor. There's a giant turbine sitting outside that weighs about 300 pounds. And that start switch is a slow progressive start switch. It just sits a little bit of electricity and a little bit more and a little bit more. So you'll see the numbers start flashing on it until it gets to a full 60 amps and gets up to speed. Plug it in, start my vacuum. I'm also going to make sure that my hose is hooked up and that my damper is actually pulled forward. You'll hear it start rattling in a second as it gets ready to start sucking air. And it'll catch about 90% of what's coming on this bandsaw. I'm going to start the motor, which is on the other side over here, and then I'm going to get the piece of wood started and slowly cut it and finish it off with a couple push sticks. You got to pause for a second. It takes a minute for these motors to start up. I'm going to start with my hands as a guide, but when I get close to the end, I'll swap over to push stick. You only want to go as fast as the machine will let you. You don't put a lot of pressure on these bands because they will break in a heartbeat. You can't force this through. All right, I'm about to get to a point to stop. A couple simple push sticks. All right, I'm gonna leave it set there for a second. I'm gonna hit my stop button. Now this machine will take a while to stop. Move the pieces out of the way. You sit here and watch this blade right here. It is still turning. It is still turning. It is still turning. It'll take about 10 or 15 seconds for it to actually slow down and quit turning. There, it finally stopped. Now I'm going to do the reverse procedure. Close my damper, hit the stop, which is the red at the bottom. It says stop, stops the vacuum. Unplug my saw, and like any other tool, I'm gonna come back and make sure it's still kind of clean. In this case, it got most of it. There's the little piece that I ripped. That's using a bandsaw.